ICT tech company Huawei has announced plans to invest 150 million US dollars in youth digital talent development over the next 5 years. The announcement comes as the world marked Youth Skills Day on the 15th of July this year. Huawei's programs have also benefited more than 1.5 million people across 150 countries. We unpack this announcement with Huawei spokesperson Vaneshri Govender. So, Vaneshri, thank you very much for your time. I think let's start with the big headline that's eye-grabbing. There's this $150 million that Huawei is going to be spending towards youth digital talent development globally. And I know that it has a program called Seeds for the Future Program 2.0. Just talk to me about that money. And Huawei is really, in my honest opinion, because I get to deal with this on a daily basis, putting their money where their mouth is.
So Huawei has a series of youth development, skills transfer and training programs. The Seeds for the Future program, which the 150 million rand that you're referring to, is one of these programs. We see a very important role to get youth in ICT trained in order to prepare this global talent ecosystem for what is a digital future known as like the 4IR, which is a sort of catchphrase these days. But as we move into the digital economy, there's going to be a lot of new skills that will come into this economy, and Huawei's working quite a lot in this space in terms of training and upskilling youth to participate in these economies.
Now, Vaneshri, if you heard the words Huawei's Seeds for the Future Program 2.0, very quickly, what is that program all about?
So the Seeds for the Future program was launched in 2008, and in Africa in 2014 and in South Africa in 2016. It's the global flagship CSR program, which aims to, initially it used to be an exchange program where we would take students from here to China. They'd spend a week in Beijing, and then they'd spend a week in Shenzhen. In Beijing, they would get to understand Chinese culture, some history, language, writing, and then they'd visit various historic sites like the Great Wall and the Forbidden City. Then we would go to Shenzhen, where they would have their whole syllabus there was around the latest technologies. They would sit in the lab and work on a 5G network, have lectures around AI, cloud, and how these technologies will build the future platform for all kinds of industries and sectors and the economy. And then at the end of that, they'd have a graduation ceremony with students who are also on the program from other parts of the world. And then they'd come back to South Africa, and we keep in touch with the students and put them through various other projects and programs that we run in South Africa, which is the bursary program, the graduate program, the intern program. And then we just try and keep that contact between us and the seed students. Then in 2020, it went online. So we were able to increase the number of students from 10 to 50. So last year we had 50 students participating, and we're hoping to get 50 this year. Registration has been a little bit slow because of the events of the past 2 weeks in South Africa. So we're opening the application process up until the 1st of August, and we're really trying to encourage students to register for the program or apply to the program.
Now, the program, when it was launched in Africa in 2014, reached nearly 2,000 students. That's across 25 African countries. In South Africa, you've partnered with the Department of Communication and Digital Technologies. Talk to me about how do you scale that to bring in more young people? Now, the one thing I must admit that I really love seeing is the word talent.
Exactly that. It is to create a talent pool that will take Africa's digital transformation into a place where we can compete equally with the rest of the world. And we want to make sure that the ICT talent in Africa gets to become among the top global talent. So that's the whole aim of most of the programs that we are putting in place for ICT students across universities and colleges in sub-Saharan Africa.
I can only imagine that you can't achieve these numbers on your own. So who have you partnered with from a South African perspective? I know that the Minister, Stella Ndabeni-Abrams, has encouraged ICT students to register for this year's Seeds for the Future program. Is that one of the only partnerships, or did you need to develop more?
No, so we have partnerships across government, across academia, and across industry. So, in fact, we had a jobs fair for students who participated in the Huawei accredited ICT Academy, where in that jobs fair, we had students from universities and TVET colleges who've done the course. And then we brought together our channel partners like BCX, Mustec. There were 10 channel partners in that jobs fair, and the students were interviewed, and then they were absorbed. The process is ongoing, but they will be then taken into the various channel partners' businesses along with ours. So we partner with a cross-section of stakeholders in order to do these projects and in order to, get ICT students job ready and into the workforce.
We're having this conversation at a time, Vaneshri, when we've just come out of Youth Month. We are on our way to Women's Month. Just talk to me how important it is to get women, young women, I don't want to use the word girls, but young women into these programs and to be intentional about that.
Okay, so I think the stats are overwhelming in the sector. There are I think there's about 20% of women in executive positions in ICT in South Africa, and globally, our figures mirror the global figures. So we do definitely focus on attracting female applicants, 50-50 for seats. We try. That's the gender balance in this program and in the others. We try very hard to be quite inclusive, to bring female candidates into it. And then obviously we do projects around, Girls in ICT Day, Women's Month. We're going to run another interesting project, which I hope I can talk to you about, where we're going to train entrepreneurs in cloud and AI technology so that they can use that in their businesses. So it's incredibly important to bring women into the ICT industry. Globally, we run a Women in Tech program, which also, aims to highlight the lack of women who are actively participating in ICT.